All right, Judge Dallet, thanks for taking some time to talk with us today. It's kind of an exciting time for this. We were just talking a little bit. Your seat you're running for is going to be vacated, so you're going to have a chance to put your own stamp on this campaign. Tell us, what is it that makes you qualified for this seat?
Well, I am the most qualified person running for this seat. I am a judge currently in Milwaukee County. I'm coming up on a decade. I've handled 10,000 cases at least. I've had over 230 jury trials as a judge. And prior to becoming a judge, I was a prosecutor for 11 years. And I prosecuted sexual predator cases for 5 of those years in multiple counties. And I was over at the U.S. Attorney's Office for part of that time as well. So I am the only candidate coming into this race who has criminal justice experience and who has the depth of experience in our court system to do the job that we need done on the Supreme Court.
And what is it then about that experience that qualifies you? I mean, what about these cases helps prepare you for that next step?
Well, the job of a Supreme Court justice is to review the decisions made day to day by our circuit courts all over our state. I make those decisions day in, day out, every day. And I also get to see and hear from everyday Wisconsinites every day what issues they're facing. Whether it's our opioid crisis, which I've had firsthand experience dealing with as a judge, whether it's just really the effect of our economy on individuals and how that has impacted their lives, such as losing their homes. There's no substitute for that kind of experience.
And one thing I've heard described about Supreme Court justices, whether it's at the national level, state level, wherever it is, there's somebody that has to call balls and strikes. You're not looking to rewrite the rule book for the game. Is that something you agree with?
That's correct. And I absolutely follow the rule of law. It's not my job to make policy decisions, which is what the legislature does. I follow the law, understanding that if it violates someone's rights, that I'm there to stop it and to protect the rights that we all care about in our Constitution. So that's my job.
So then I'll ask you this. How big would you say your strike zone is?
Well, I don't play baseball, which I think is the reference. I think it's important. We live in Wisconsin. We have Wisconsin values. I think we care about a lot of the same things, all of us. We want clean air and water. We want good public schools for our kids. We want people to have equal opportunities and not be treated differently because of the way they look or whatever religion they practice or their sex. I mean, those are the things that are at the heart of Wisconsin, and those are the things that I'm there to make sure we protect.
Good answer. Talking about and looking at the way things are today in the society, you mentioned opioid crisis and things like that, and there's a lot of very divisive issues out there. How do you handle that as a judge?
Well, I'm used to dealing with divisive issues. This is what I do. No one's in court because they want to be there usually. I do weddings sometimes and adoptions. I've never done those, but we do them in court. Mm-hmm. But other than that, you're really there because you're vulnerable. Because something has happened in your life. It's either criminal or civil. And something's happened to you or you're being accused of something. And so I'm there to make sure that the vulnerable are protected, that everyone's heard, that justice is done, the community is protected. And I have to weigh all of that every day in the decisions that I make.
Is there anything else that you'd like to add?
Well, I think that it's important also to point out that we really are at a moment in time for women in this country. We're at a moment where women are finally feeling safe to speak out against harassment and abuse, and that's something that I have dedicated a lot of my career to standing up for women, to empowering them. When I was a prosecutor, I did prosecute domestic violence and the sexual assault cases I was talking about, and as a judge, I have been in domestic violence court and sexual assault and homicide court. And I think we are at this moment where women can step up. I think it's important that we do that. And it's worth noting that in our courts here in Wisconsin, of all the judges, only 1 in 5 are women. So we need to do a better job of making sure women are at the table, making the decisions, and making sure that there's a level playing field for everyone. I have 3 daughters, and I really am running also for them. I'm running to make sure we have a Wisconsin that we can all be proud of, that their rights are protected, and that they can be successful in this world and with a level playing field.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. Thank you.